So I have a very short time on the internet now, so I've got to make this video. Hopefully it uploads. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Um, why do I say E is earlier than J? I think J got written before E, but E was the older view and the more the well understood view of God. Uh, the top people, top scholars who are top proponents of documentary hypothesis say that J was written by a woman and a common woman, and well, common as you can be for somebody who can write. Uh, so he there's different people who people suspect it is, but they say it has a very feminine quality to it, whereas E was written probably by a priest from northern Israel. So J was written in the south and E in the north. And E was a refutation or clarification of J because uh, it's basically a refutation and telling the different side. J is telling the side from Judah's point of view, and E is telling it from Northern Israelite point of view of God. The Northern Israelites called God El or Elohim, and it goes through. It never calls God Yahweh or I am uh, until after the burning bush, whereas J just sees that as just the view of that's just the name of God. That's it from beginning to end. But E actually explains how that name came around. It says I am that I am. It shows the explanation for the reason why people are using this as the name of God, and it's a misunderstanding. Yahweh is a misunderstanding of what the God Israel was supposed to be. Comes down to a God of details and God only for the Jewish people. E is more concerned with Moses, Abraham, Joseph, and Jacob. Those are the big guys in there. So E was E didn't have a lot of the creation myths. It starts with Abraham. It doesn't start before that. It starts with Abraham's prophetic call, and it relies on prophecy and uh, God being very reticent to man, speaking through dreams, speaking through angels, things like this, until Mount Sinai, and then God comes, and it's the cosmic God. He says, "All you need to know is I am that I am, He who is the existing one." And J, the South, misunderstood that. So I think E was the older version, the original version, and J, even though probably written down first in the 10th century, E was brought up right behind that to kind of give the other side, the Northern Israelite side of it. You can see either writers bashing. Jay wants to bash the ancestors of Northern Israel, while E does the opposite. It slanders Judah and the southern tribes and places the guilt on their ancestors. E is pro Moses. He didn't have Aaron doing everything with him. It was just Moses and Aaron, and where in the southern temple, because there were two competing temples. You had cherubim. In the north, you had molten ox. You had uh, golden bowls, the symbol of El. Later, Jay would take basically Baal and use the Israelite form of Baal, Adonai, Lord. Uh, I think he's an earlier understanding of it, a much clearer understanding of it. But there are some hard things with E. Apparently, original E has uh, Abraham sacrificing Isaac, and that was it. Because you can see where the redactor put in kind of more gruesome, stark view. But at some point, uh, before P was written, E and J were merged as one word, just combined. So there was an initial redactor that didn't take anything out, but just spliced E and J together. And E and J existed as a work for some time until J came to basically refute that, wrote a different book to refute that. And then D came in, probably D being the redactor, wrote Deuteronomy basically, put it on the end of this long tale of E, J, and P, and then wrote the historical works of the Tanakh. But I think E is the older view of God because that is the understanding of the name, whereas J just, you know, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. It never, there's no understanding to that. So E was the view of somebody who was educated, somebody who knew the past, somebody who understood basically the God, and J was basically telling the the fairy tales, the creation myths, these kind of things, the folk religion, and it almost is using Yahweh in that way, just as this holy secret name. It almost seems pagan. I know that sounds strange, and it sounds strange that the golden bowl would probably be better than the cherubim, but that's my view on E. All right, peace to you, and sorry if I couldn't get back to anybody today. I will try tomorrow. A busy day today. Take care. Keep warm.